Riffin. Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. That's EST. Jus Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Jus Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time here every week. Jus Riffin. Jump in the room, let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Jus Riffin.
What's up, everybody? It's another Tuesday. Jus Riffin, powered by Rug Radio. I'm one of your hosts, Hefner. I got Cookie Rabinowitz in the building with me. Cookie, how you feeling? What's good with you? Talk to me.
I feel good, man. I'll talk about it briefly, but I've been like kind of fumbling around through building this app up, and it's done, and I'm launching it, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay, real quick, we might have some listeners that are tuning in, and maybe they don't know what the hell you're talking about. So break it down just real quickly. Give us that TLDR on what it is that you're talking about. What app is this? What did you build?
The TLDR is I didn't enjoy the experience of pre-existing platforms, not in the way they display my music. Not in the way some of them are gated. Like I just saw a post today, just real quick, of a catalog. They're a blockchain platform, and they just posted today, now accepting all artists to put their music on there. Well, that's cool, but where were you like 2 years ago? I had music back then too. So I decided instead of begging people or complaining on the timeline, I just put in a little sweat equity, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I built a platform to engage with people who enjoy my music, all three of them, and if other people enjoy it, maybe other artists will like to use it as well. If not, it's just the way I want to release my music. And these tools we have today, and we won't talk about it, but the AI and stuff, it really helped me along through a lot of my struggle coding, and it's a work in progress. It's really just an experiment. It's on Abstract blockchain. I'm going to be streaming there and talking about it and playing some music on there as well. And they built some really cool tools for builders. And I kind of feel like a poser calling myself a builder. I'm an artist, I'm a songwriter, but I was kind of forced into being a builder because nobody really built an engine that took the gasoline that I put in it. So I decided to build a cookie engine, which is, I guess if you have F1s, I'm kind of like an effed up.
Oh man, too good. I think it's awesome though that you built something because you found that the other things that were out there just weren't giving you what you wanted and what you were looking for and what you feel could help other musicians and the audience and the consumer and the fans, so they can listen. And so I'm excited to look at it and mess with it and tinker around with what you built. I'm excited for you, and I think it's going to be a great thing because you know what you're doing as far as the musicianship goes. Forget about the coding stuff. Whatever helped you whatever's in your brain, you put it into those prompts, and whatever knowledge you have on writing the code yourself, you did. So when you say I don't want to consider myself a builder, you built something regardless of the situation. You built them. So hats off to you.
I appreciate that. I just want to comment one more thing on it.
Really, man.
The time I was building it, I was totally selfish with what I built. And I built it for me, for no other artist. I built it for me. And the reason for that is, we were talking about this a little bit at one point, Hef, but like many artists, I'm not crying the blues or anything, but I had a pretty serious drug problem many years ago. I've been clean for years, 20 years plus, but it was a pretty serious problem, and I couldn't shake it. And what made me get sober from drugs wasn't wanting to do it or needing to do it, which I wanted to and needed to for many years. But what made me do it was observing friends to mine that were close to me that were having the same struggle as me, and watching them do it and get clean, and watching how radically different and better their lives were. So I watched other people succeed at their thing, and that's what inspired me to correct myself that way. And that's right. That's the way I decided to build this. I decided to build it the way I see it. And that would be a way that if other people like me, if there's other artists that kind of think and are on the same path and journey as me, it'll be useful to them. Like, so I didn't have to think of them to try to make something useful to them. I just had to be selfish and think about me. So I was kind of selfish building it, and maybe it's a weird thing, who knows, but I hope people enjoy it, and I hope other artists do find use in it, you know.
I think they will. Look, if you build something for yourself and you know that it's going to work and it's doing its thing, I'm 100% positive that there's other musicians that are out there and consumers alike that, pardon me, that are looking for a new platform that can provide what it is that you're delivering to them. So I think, yeah, I'm all for that, man. Music wise, we spoke also yesterday. We talked, about some great musicians and stuff. I wanted to kind of transition into this. We spoke about Wes Montgomery on guitar. Who are some of the because we got really into it. My cousin has a client that works at the Gibson, Gibson Guitars, works at the factory, and sent her a acoustic guitar, a standard Gibson acoustic guitar. I didn't even know, as I was talking to you last night about it, I didn't even know that Gibson made acoustic guitars. And so you went on to tell me that, they're awesome and stuff like this. And you're a guitarist. So like coming from your standpoint, we spoke about some really cool, really great, acoustic guitar musicians, Dave Matthews being one of them. And we talked about Billy Strings. But I want you to tell the audience, like some of these guitar players, what's the main influence that you've gotten from them that's helped you in your everyday when you're playing?
Well, I just want real quick on the Gibson thing, legendary acoustic guitars. Like I believe the model, and I'm really bad at remembering names of models, but I think it's the J45. But all the Beatles tunes, like Blackbird Singing in the Dead of Night, all the little acoustic things and everything.
Wow.
They're on a Gibson J45, right? And I had the experience. I went to a guitar shop, a vintage guitar shop before, and I picked one up. It was like from the same year it was out, and I swear, not to be like some kind of vintage weirdo or anything, but you pick this thing up, and as soon as you played that song, it sounded exactly like that song.
Wow.
And it gave me chills. I was like, wow, there is something, like it's all in the fingers and the player, they say. But when you pick up an old instrument like that has some life in it, the wood's a little dried out, beat up over the years, but you pick it up, but Gibson made some legendary, and there's many other artists that played Gibson guitars. And like not really acoustic, but it's a semi-acoustic. The archtop Gibson, the Gibson ES series, the ES 175. Not to get totally into gear stuff, but many legendary guitar players played those. And we were talking about one last night, Joe Pass, and I'm segueing into what you were asking me about. Like Joe Pass, his main instrument, over the years, he might have got an endorsement deal with another company, but his main instrument that he kind of became legendary and known for, he played a Gibson, I believe ES 175, and that was a semi-acoustic, like archtop type of jazz guitar. And those guitar players, it's funny because like Joe Pass was one of them. He just really rings out because we were talking about him last night. But they play this, and we actually, I'm being very scattered all over the place. We actually had somebody playing a little of this style on our show before, Patrick Dimitri. But that chord melody style,
yes.
Pat was tearing that up on our show. It's a shame we were just audio and we had him on. We should try to get him on again. Maybe he could like do video, but
yeah, that would be great to get him back on lives. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've always been fascinated, and just it's so peaceful to me when you hear a guitar player playing chord melody.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. On acoustic guitar, Tommy Emmanuel, he does some pretty amazing things, a lot of acrobats, like he plays like the bass line, everything on one. And
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Those finger guitar players, and the flamenco guitar players, those guys are incredible. So, growing up in Miami Beach, when we were kids, we'd be down in South Beach when we weren't supposed to. And there was this one restaurant cafe, or whatever you want to call it. And they had a world-renowned flamenco guitar player that would play pretty much on the nights or weekends or whatever. And it would be a massive amount of people. You couldn't even get a seat in the restaurant. And there would be so many people just like hanging out, watching this guy like on Ocean Drive. And I don't remember the guy's name or anything like that, but I just always would stop and watch the guy at least for a song or two, and just always amazed me because I just didn't understand how anybody could be that good.
It's beautiful, man. And the cool thing about it, I really love is I love full bands. That's a different thing. But like when you want to chill, like chill hop, I love chill hop music, right? To me, chord melody is like the chill hop of jazz, you know? Like it's like a solo guitar player just playing very chill, and it's beautiful. And I've put quite a bit of hours into trying to really get that style under my fingers, and it's been very difficult. Like I'm not very good at it. I have a couple things I can do with it, but it's something like that's a craft, man. That's like just a whole nother, you know, leg of playing guitar that maybe one day if I get to live to like 150 with technology and stuff, maybe I'll get it.
What about like doing the drums on the guitar at the same time? Do you do that? Can you do that?
I don't like that stuff, I gotta say.
It's kind of crazy, huh? Oh, you don't like
it? I just don't like the sound of it, but there's guys that do stuff similar to it. Like there's a guy named Ben Lacey. I'm sorry, Steve Lacey is the guy from Odd Future that does great, you know, kind of alternative soul stuff. But Ben Lacey is a guitar player, and if anybody gets a chance to check him out, he'll play like the wildest shit. He'll play like a Zeppelin song all on guitar, or he'll play any song you can imagine. Like he does the Warren G version of with the Michael McDonald song. What's that song? Regulators. Like he does that on guitar.
Yeah.
And all the bass, the drums, and he plays the drums not by banging on the guitar, by muting the left hand, but he does all the parts at once, and it blows my mind. And like your brain, I almost feel like you have to shut your brain off to do that, because if you're trying to think of, I feel like you have to get each individual part to muscle memory so down that you don't even think about it, and then individually bring them in. But like if you're thinking of these parts while you're playing them, I don't see how you could do it. There's another guy too, and I feel bad that I forget his name because he's an icon. He played D'Angelo on D'Angelo. Let's see, a Spanish Joint. The guitar player. He's world renowned too. I'm just having a mind blank right now. But he plays these guitars that the low end strings are heavy. They're like bass strings, and the high end strings, they're called hybrids, are guitar strings. And he'll play like the bass line, boom, 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 boom.
Six strings?
No. Well, he did it like that. He has different instruments. One he plays, I think, is 7 strings. I think he does a 7 string. So he gets that low B. It's a B string, I believe, on the bass. And he tunes them down for different things too, I believe. But it sounds so full. Like now he's not doing the drums or the percussion stuff, but he's handling a groove with the bass and the guitar, like whether it's a chink, chink, chink or a strumming thing. It's mind-blowing. It's freaking mind-blowing. And I could listen to that shit all day. And you know what's funny? Years ago when that song was out, I remember learning the song and trying to be slick and learn the bass and guitar at the same time, not knowing that it was actually the guitar and bass done at the same time that by the guy who recorded it. I thought it was a bass on a guitar line. But I was like, I learned the song trying to do it that way. And I got it really kind of janky. And then years later, I found out the actual way it was recorded was the guy did it all at once. And it's amazing. I wish I remembered. I think Henderson is his last name, but he's absolutely incredible. Jazz guy. But you know, awesome. These guys play on big records too. Like he played on D'Angelo's Voodoo, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
You know, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I love it, man. It's inspiring.
Say his name again. Say the guy's name again.
Which the guy from D'Angelo, I believe his last name was Henderson. I forget his first name.
And the other guy was Lacey. What'd you say his name was? Lacey?
Ben Lacey.
Ben Lacey. Okay.
Freaking,
look him up, everybody.
Yeah, he's man. Look those good guys up. Yo, Ben Lacey plays like in little tiny restaurants and bars, just like the situation you were talking about in Miami. And he lives in Kentucky. I know this because I'm a weirdo stalker of him, because he's just so amazing. Every time he posts something, I'm like, but I was actually thinking of considering just driving from South Jersey to Kentucky just to watch this guy live. And I'm going to do it soon.
Do it, bro. The bluegrass state. Go hang out.
I think it's like a 10-hour drive or an 8-hour drive. I think I'm definitely going to do it because he doesn't play in Philly, and I got to see this guy. Like, I have to see him. You see him live, do it on YouTube, but it's like I gotta I don't know, catch some of that energy. Like maybe like, you know, I don't know, maybe he'll let me you know, touch his guitar pick or something. Oh wait, he doesn't use a pick. He doesn't use a pick. Never mind. But you know what I'm saying.
Oh man, you're hilarious, dude. Word up, man. No, that's great though. Like, you know, thanks for the knowledge too. I'm gonna definitely look them up you know, later on today. I always like finding new musicians, new artists, new anything that I haven't heard before, and checking out. Also, I wanted to give you props too on our intro song. Like I could hear the up how, I don't know what you call it, the upbeat when you're stringing up, you know. It's kind of it's cool there. I forget what this it reminds me of something else that I heard in a song. Oh God, I forget what it is. I'd have to find it.
Yeah. I don't know the song, but I know you're talking about.
Ripped, and it's like I can't. Sorry, but it's in my head, and I can't pull it out right at this moment. But it reminded me of something else. But I love that sound too because you're playing. It's not. You're not just like, you know, la 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 la. La. You're actually making the groove. You're filling in those empty spots of the groove that make the groove. You know, so. Yeah, wanted to.
With that said, I want to chime in on a drumming thing for you because one thing I love when drummers do it, Ringo, Beatles did it a lot, and a lot of drummers do it. And I hate to give such you know, old references, but you know, I'm old. What can I do? But you know, but I love when drummers do that. Really, it almost sounds kind of like a retarded, not in a politically incorrect way, but in a musical way, like some, you know, in a retarded. But like when they do like that triplet type of like that quarter note triplet sound, boom boom. I love that sound, man. It just has such a cool swagger to it, and so I try to sneak some of that shit in to anything I do because I just think that's such a cool sound. You know?
Yeah, man.
Did you know what I'm talking about? Like you like that vibe?
Yeah, it's like I know what you're talking about. Like and you know. This is what you know, like this is what I love. I love when musicians can share in the groove, and it's probably common amongst musicians, but not as common to the audience of the scalability of each individual player when they're all jamming and they're improvising. And that takes a level of science, in my opinion, to understanding the grooves, understanding the tempos, hearing, and most importantly, listening. Now, you mentioned something earlier about playing the guitar and thinking. And I've always told other musicians, other people that are trying to play music, especially on the drum side of things, because that's what I love the most, is to breathe. Because when you're thinking, you're not breathing. You're friggin', especially when you're playing. And then that's what gets you all jammed up. So if you're breathing properly and like Cookie said, muscle memory, then you'll be able to let loose. But you got to practice if it's something that you really, really want. But that's why I say that level of that's up there, that upper echelon, that's where you get to experience great musicianship. And we mentioned some guitar players today. There's drummers like Carter Buford, Jacob Arman. I sent you that. He played staccato and G3 on this little thing, like with these two little metal mallets. Did you see that, by the way? Did you get a chance to check it out?
When did you send it to me? Last night?
Yeah, I sent you in a text message. Check it out after the show. Incredible. But some of these drummers, bass players, violinists, any musician that's like up there and out, these people can improvise by listening to where the other person is going. Usually the bass is following the guitar. The drums are holding everything together and the keys are filling in the gaps. So I just, you know, and the guitar is holding that rhythm as well. But I don't know. I just feel like there's so many good musicians. From a musician standpoint, it's pretty common. And from, you know, the audience, I think a lot of them, not taking anything away from them, but I think a lot of them don't understand what sometimes what some of these musicians are doing, right? Like the wow factor of it. So
for sure. You know, real quick, I want to repeat what you said, because I think not only in music, but it's the most important thing in everything.
please,
Like,
I get royalties, by the way, every time you say something that I said.
I'm going to send them to you. I'm going to send them to you in wrecked coin. Okay.
Please, yeah. I'll take it.
So, but you said breathe. You tell these the musician playing with breathe.
Breathe, yeah.
That really fixes everything. Like that fixes your anxiety. It fixes, and in music, you know, if you're anxious, you're gonna rush a note or you're gonna fumble something. And in life, you're gonna fumble something too if you don't breathe. And what you're saying about all the musicians interacting with each other, and I feel like that's terrible, but I'm sure you've heard of Victor Wooten, you know,
I've seen him live actually.
Amazing.
I saw him play. Listen, real quick, I saw him play with John Williams. I saw him play with Herbert Laws. It was Chick Corea on the keys, and Ravi Coltrane on the sax. This was at Blue Note. I went out to dinner with my cousins, and then we went to go see some jazz, and walked into like, well, we walked in, but like, you know, Chick Corea was, but it was Return to Forever. It was like most of the original guys. It was crazy.
That is insane. So Victor Wooten, right?
Victor Wooten was on bass. Victor Wooten was on bass. That was
yes. So our guest we had on our show, one of our first shows, Kevin Hansen. He actually did this whole session with Victor Wooten, and it's on YouTube.
Wow.
We gotta bring it up and post it, but it was amazing.
We're gonna get Kevin back on the show, by the way.
For sure. His band just put out a new single, The Fractals, and we're gonna get him on for sure. But Victor Wooten, and this is terrible because I forget the title of the book, and I read it, and he wrote this book. Well, first off, he has a clip. I saw a clip of him on like just social media or whatever, and he was talking about the importance of the groove and placement. And he was basically showing how he could play any note, even if it was the wrong note. It wasn't in the right key, the right scale. And he wasn't saying but like you could. It's like if you have conviction in the groove, you can pretty much play any note and it'll still work because you have that conviction and you're in the pocket. And he demonstrated it. And I was like, no shit, you know, that's exactly right. And there were masters of this. I'm going to name some of the obvious, but Hendrix, you know, Hendrix's rhythm playing and his solo playing, like it wasn't like he was this great whittling guy, but he just had amazing swag, you know, in his groove. And he would, you know, put those notes, and it didn't matter that his guitar didn't even stay in tune for half the shows he did because his just groove was incredible. But getting back to Victor Wooten for one more time, he put out 2 books. I read them both. They're both amazing. I forget the titles of them because I'm senile.
What are they on? Are they on like Theories of Music, or is it about music or anything else?
Breakdown. They're almost written like children's books. And that's great for me because I'm an idiot. But no, but they're beautiful. They're basically a story about music, and it teaches you all about music and how to perform music as a true artist. And I think he's valid as a verifiable source on how to teach it, because nobody can really deny his mastery. But he teaches it in such a simple way, and it's in a story. And that book really spoke to me because I've studied music theory, done all that shit and everything, and I'm not really great at learning that way. I did very poorly on tests in school when you had to do the school thing and all that stuff. But the way he wrote this book, I almost wish the shit that you need to learn about for life skills. I'm not talking about the stuff they teach at school. I'm talking about like finances, music, art, relationships, the stuff they should teach in school, not the algebra or whatever the other shit. But I kind of wish there was a guy like Victor Wooten that wrote books for all those topics, because I feel that if there was, a lot of young people would get further along faster in life, you know. But just
wow.
But you know,
yeah, that's a bold statement.
Jus Riffin.
I like it, dude. That's an audiogram right there. All right, make sure you chop that up. I'm talking to the producer of our show. Make sure you chop that segment up, and let's get that live as soon as possible on the air. Cook your dinners with another classic audiogram that's going to be up soon. You guys will be able to listen back to that. Loving it, dude. You know what I'm saying? We got a producer now. What's up, bro?
What's his name? I forget.
Victor. I don't know. I was just making it up. We're the producers, bro.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
You're like, yeah, I knew I had a job to do. All right. So we're getting to this segment of the show where well, what can we do today? What can we do? Let's do a quick sound check, and then let's bring up Bruce and Henny because they're patiently waiting in the green room, and I could see all the smoke in there, and I want to make sure we get a chance to talk to them before they fall asleep, from all that 420, if you know what I'm saying, San Francisco. Let's do a sound check. I think you should pick a guitar player to sound check. You down for that?
Sure.
I like putting you on the spot. Here we go.
Sound check. Check 1, 2, 2. Hefner's gonna bless the mic. Sound check. Hey, Tuesday. Riffin on a Tuesday night. Sound check.
Obviously, Cookie's gonna take this one.
Damn, thanks for putting me on the spot. I'm really bad at facts.
I love putting you on the spot.
Facts and knowledge about other musicians, I'm not too sharp with.
Just what you know. Pick a musician and tell me why that musician is awesome.
Okay, I'll pick. We could say. Well, let's
talk about Dave Matthews. We spoke about him last night. Talk about Dave Matthews.
About Dave Matthews. I know nothing about Dave Matthews, but I do. Okay. I think he's an amazing artist, and I do like the Dave Matthews Band music, but I have really no info on him.
Okay.
I don't know. You really did put me on the spot because I'm not really
doing that. Why not? We're just riffing.
No, okay. Well, I mean, we could break it down real quick. Let's look at unique guitar players. Let's generalize for a second. We can talk about phases of musical styles in popular music. Like in the 80s, when I was coming up, there wasn't, the guitar player in the 70s, let's go to 70s. So you had like the 60s and 70s, you had artists like Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, people like that were in the mainstream. Keith Richards, even amazing.
Real quick, I want to stop you there because you mentioned Keith Richards. I was actually thinking about it as you're talking. What about Ron Wood? How good is Ron Wood? Like from your, I don't know, because I just know that it's rhythm, but like how good is Ron Wood on the guitar from the Stones?
I think all these guys are great, and I can't really judge how good they are or not. But the point I was making with generalizing the guitar players just through the generations is these guys had specific styles, and they all kind of branched out into their own lanes, but they all came from kind of emulating the blues guitar players and bringing a little of a rock edge and distortion to it. The guitar player from the Kinks is actually, kind of noted as inventing distortion. Like he stuck a crochet needle or something like that through his speaker when they were doing when they recorded "You Really Got Me," but they all were bringing a rock edge to guitar playing, but they had that style. It was all blues influence. And then in the 80s, you kind of had Eddie Van Halen came out and brought his technique and stuff, and then you had Yngwie Malmsteen came out, and the other lane of shredders like the Paul Gilbert, Gracer X,
Joe Satriani.
But the thing that's notable is all these guys kind of took a genre and built off of it and created their own sound. Like you wouldn't mistake any of the guitar players I mentioned for another one.
Right.
And today, there's a lot less of that. And I don't think it's anybody's fault. I just think there's like everybody's getting fast tracked to the information, so like I could imagine these guys, the way they had to learn, they probably had to learn from going to a live show, watching the guitar emulated.
Yeah. Makes 100%. They didn't have MTV. They didn't have really anything on TV, video wise, or anything. Yeah, you're right, 100%.
Maybe they were on some weird radio station, or maybe they would get an old
College
record
radio.
from America. But these guys, you know, these guys in London would probably somehow find an old record, get it from America, you know, of the blues players, early recordings. And it kept evolving. Like even in my era, we didn't have YouTube, but we had records. We definitely had easy access to records, and they had guitar magazines out then, Guitar Player magazine, Guitar for the Practicing Musician.
Rag Mag.
So you could buy that magazine, like Guitar Player magazine, and they would have like notation and tablature out.
Yes, I remember this.
So you could learn that way. So even I had a different kind of advantage as opposed to the guys in the 60s and 70s. Now, fast forward a little past my generation of the young players, they had digital products where you could take the CD or the tape and you could speed up and slow down the tape to learn. And and now fast forward to today, you can put on YouTube and you can watch the actual artist and slow down their fingers. And then if not, there's some amazing guitar player that broke it all down for me, showing exactly how it's done. And I'm not gonna lie, I've used this approach for certain like chord voicings that I didn't think I was getting right. Like I've looked at other guys and been like, oh, that's the way to do it. So I'm not frowning on people that use this, but I'm saying it is there now. And I think one of the differences is it's a slower road to guitar players finding their own voice, because they're getting like exact data on how to emulate somebody else's voice, where in the past you would come up with these ways, abstract and makeshift ways to learn what somebody else was doing. And there would be a glitch in that matrix, but that glitch would be a fast track to your own style and developing it as an artist, because those mistakes would be what would become your normal thing. Like if you thought you were supposed to hold the pick this way and pick this fast line, you might not have known that it was done this way, or it was done this way by the actual artist. And because of that, you developed your own style of technique that sounds a little bit different, that scrapes the strings a little different, makes the tone of the strings a little different. And I don't know. I think that's interesting. What do you think about that? Do you agree, or?
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like you should be able to manipulate. Yeah, I mean, you know, like it's gotta, yeah, you got to be able to go back if you want to create something grand, you know, instead of fast tracking. You got to go back to the roots, man. It's like if you don't know the history, how can you, you know, you don't know the past, how can you move forward, you know? So yeah, that's what I think. I think, you know, go back to the roots of stuff, and don't fast track your life.
I'm coming from a slightly different place. I'm coming from exactly the opposite of that place.
Yeah,
I'm coming from not knowing the correct way and finding your own way, which
finding your voice. Yeah,
it's
the only way. I think it's the only way really to do it is to just fuck around and find out, you know, get on the drums, get on the guitar, get on anything, start blowing it, start playing it, start strumming it. I don't know how to play the guitar, but I could pick up that acoustic guitar and sit down for a little bit, and I can come up with something because I could hear it. Right. So don't be afraid, get into it. That's the whole point of it. You know, the whole point of it. It's not to be a robot, right? It's to be free and let you, you know, loosen up a little bit. All right. But speaking of fast track, let's fast track to our guests.
Yeah.
Yes, it is that time. They've been patiently waiting. Thank you very much. We don't have any free NFTs for you for your wait or anything like that. And sorry, we didn't have any bagels and lox and cream cheese for you as well, with some Dr. Brown's black cherry or cream soda, whatever your choice of flavor is. Sorry, but we love you, and we're going to send you some rec drinks. That we're going to do, because Cookie has so many of them.
Soon coming in Binance Gold. Did you hear that?
Yeah, dude. Okay, so we have on our show today, and I want to thank everybody out there that's watching. Thank you on X, thank you on YouTube, thank you on Kick, thank you on Twitch, thank you everywhere, thank you on Abstract, thank you, even thank your mom, because I know she's listening and watching us somewhere. So thank her when you see her, for real. Moms out there love us. They really do. So we have awesome guests on our show tonight. We have Tonya Hennessey and Bruce Williams. They are CREATE24. CREATE24 is this multimedia media company that interviews artists, musicians, just people of interest on video, which is really, really, really great and unique. And they do it by traveling around. It's not like in a studio all the time or in one place. So that's what I really like about it. So let's bring to the stage Tonya and Bruce, CREATE24. How you doing? How you feeling? Thanks for waiting. Love that you guys are here, and we're all part of the same fam. So thank you. Cool. Thanks, and welcome to Jus Riffin.
Hey, thanks for having us on,
More
guys. You guys are, yeah, totally stay wrecked, dude.
We can't have enough, right?
That's right.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to say, it's been so awesome. You two are obviously two of our closest friends in this space in the Web3 milieu, and it's just really great to be with you guys. And also, Cookie, I wanted to say that was just really awesome. Your whole tangent that you just went on there. It was really real cool.
Just Riffin.
I actually, it's really, I wrote down so many notes from what you were talking about. I would love to like the Dick Cavett show. We just should have been talking about all this groovy stuff. Like you mentioned, I'll tell you one thing. We're coming from the city. There might be a couple of things you may not know that we sanctified John Coltrane here. There's a church of John Coltrane.
Wow.
In San Francisco. We call him Saint John Coltrane. Nice. a real trip here. And the last thing I want to say, when you were talking about Hendrix, he was going into jazz, and his manager told him to stop because they're too creative and they're too poor. You'll never
line.
kind of funny there.
That's right. Well, welcome to the show. Let's introduce Tonya and Bruce. How long have you guys been creating? How long have you started this media company? And before we get into that, I really want to know about you guys a little bit. So let's get a little bit of the background. I jumped the gun there, but let's get a little bit of the background. Tonya, you go first. Tell us about you, who you are, how you became to be Miss Hennessey.
Miss Hennessey. No, well, I have kind of a, I would definitely say a non-traditional background. I mean, I stumbled into, well, let's put it this way. After college, I traveled in Asia, and I traveled in Europe, and I traveled in South America for a couple of years before I
love it.
Oh yeah, it was everybody should do it, man. It was one of the best things I ever could have chosen. I saw some great, we went to Pakistan, Taiwan, China, Thailand, Greece, Hungary, Europe. But then I, moved to San Francisco, and I moved to San Francisco. I was walking around one day, and I saw a little sign. I was probably 22, and I was like, well, what am I going to do now? I saw a sign for Greenpeace to be a Greenpeace canvasser. And Greenpeace back in the day was a really huge and massive international organization. It was massive in the United States. It's an environmental protection organization, no nukes, save the whales, all that good stuff. And they had 50 offices at that time. So anyway, I became a canvasser, and that set me on a trajectory for 20 years of working on the international stage as a fundraiser with Greenpeace. I got picked up by Greenpeace International out of Amsterdam. I traveled the world, just basically got trained and learned how to be a foundations fundraiser. And so I've been raising money for good works for the past 30 years, and got to travel to, all kinds of, at that point, it was I had a great boss who sent me on the road to the Russia office, the China office, the Amazon office. I got to work out of Europe, out of Amsterdam many times. So I've mainly been an environmental and human rights fundraiser for the last, like I said, 30 years. And then one day I was, I was kind of just messing around. And actually it was funny how I got into Web3, because some people from 2022, 2021 might remember this. And there was a moment when Snoop Dogg was joking around on Twitter, what it was back then. And he was joking around and said he was Cosimo de Medici, the art patron and the kind of the big thought leader in the space. And so anyway, I was like, oh my God, Snoop Dogg, and he's doing this, And so then I got into the space and started learning about NFTs, and learned about Rug Radio right away. I learned about Rec Guys right away early. And that was it. Got hooked on GM Web3, and, a beautiful day to have a beautiful.
A beautiful day to have a beautiful day. Awesome. Thank you, Tonya. Bruce,
I can follow that one.
tell us about you, Bruce.
Follow that. Let me see. My mother was a bar wench. My dad was a nuclear scientist, and they met at a little cafe in Humboldt County and smoked pot together and
Nice.
commune.
My type of peeps.
Oh no, I'm from Bay Area. Kind of a real Northern California guy.
Yeah.
Background is all things. You know, I kind of always stayed to things that I did well, and so, you know, so like there was never really work. I mean, I always worked, but I always worked the stuff I liked to do. Luckily that. So, my mother was a cultural anthropologist. She went on a couple field digs, and she hurt herself. Kind of how it transitioned. She hurt herself. She started a home-based business. And so I started writing her grants, and then I started filming the people we were writing grants for, and they were artists. And so I started submitting that. Then I came into something else. Then I started producing a local show, Arts Without Boundaries, was similar to what we're doing here. And that kind of took off locally. And then I did like 5 years. We had an underground techno show here, electronic music for the San Francisco Bay Area.
Wow.
Code TV. Sketchers was going to back us, but we're too small, we're too local. We did that. I worked in finance a lot. I worked in economics.
What were you doing in finance? What were you?
I worked for a lot of money managers.
Okay.
I worked for I worked for everything from a boiler room, like buying 1 million shares of this, to giving investment advice, to working with like large money managers who work for foundations and stuff. So sometimes I'd be on the phone with Archbishop Quinn, you know, the Archbishop of San Francisco, and we're talking about his investments. Or
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
you
it was
were on the stock exchange too.
I worked on the exchange for a while. The guy I worked for in particular was a guy named John Harrington, and he was kind of the father of social responsible investing. So he divested Cal's fund out of South Africa and all that kind of stuff like that. So we got a real good background there. Then, fuck, dude. I mean, I've done so much.
You were telling about Bali Children's Project.
I lived in Indonesia probably 3 years.
My buddy's over in Indonesia now. He's chilling.
Yeah, remember you were traveling there. Remember I said check out the hotel there. Yeah. Did that for a while. I wrote grants, filmed stuff like that. So I've always been doing the film thing, and so now I kind of like doing this to keep my chops sharp, which I really like. But I'm ultimately trying to find someone to fund my films.
That's right. Well, you got a Queen fundraiser to your right.
I know.
I know. Put it together, Tonya. Yeah. Pay attention.
You mentioned something earlier that I thought was kind of cool. I'm just going to chime in. When you mentioned about how to learn, right? How you would learn your instrument versus back in the day versus now. And I saw an interview with someone. I thought he was the El Bulli, this really world's famous restaurant in the world, right? 5 times for the world's best restaurant. And they asked him, like, how does he get his motivation? And he says he likes to support the artist or the art that is not popular, you know, not the mainstream art, the experimental art, because he saw that as being the way that we evolve.
Right.
As if you don't, you know, the stuff that's mainstream, but the people that's a little outside of it.
That's like for followers, really, you know, the main, you know, a lot of people follow the mainstream. It's what it is, you know.
And that's one of the things, you know, like people have this argument with AI versus being an artist versus AI. What really is pushing the world forward or the culture forward. It was a really good thing, you know, like he supports the stuff that's fringe just because he found that as being an evolutionary movement in our progress as human beings. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and those people that do step out, those are the ones that, you know, do succeed, you know, because they're not following the norm. They're leading their own path to whatever it is. So that's
kind of the problem with the question with AI. Is it really intelligence? Is it really mimicking?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? Is it really helping? It's kind of anyway, that was fine.
Yeah, for me with AI, as long as I love it. I just want to be able to sleep, shower, smoke herb, have sex every once in a while here and there, and then let the AI do the rest. You know what I'm saying? Just
that's not true. I know you.
Do the breathing for me too. You know what I'm saying?
Stop moving.
Guy.
That's great. All right, so thank you so much for taking the time and explaining, you know, your backstories and interesting things that you guys have done prior to creating Create24. What was the purpose of
Feudal Kingdom? Go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. What was the purpose? Because I do that all the time. I just feel like conversation is meant to be interrupted. So, all right. What was the main purpose of like getting together, both of you coming from two separate kind of backgrounds, but blending together to create what is Create24?
Actually, yeah, because I left out a big part too. But I think because Bruce and I met about 10, 11 years ago, and so we've been chilling.
We're at a brothel in Germany.
I love it.
Yeah. And
he was doing Greenpeace.
I went in the wrong door.
Yeah, she was doing Greenpeace, and you were like, "I want a piece." I love it, dude. I love it.
But and about in 2019, I went to my first travel writing conference, and I hooked up with a travel writing group, a group of really great people, kind of an unusual travel writing group.
Let me stop you there. How does one come across that? Like, what are you looking for? Like, how do you come across a traveling group? Like, yeah.
After so many years of being, I crunch at foundation proposals. I know how to put together. I know those packages. I know that business. But as rewarding as it is to bring in money and bring in grants of any size, I wanted to do something more creative, And so then one day I saw an ad from a company called Great Escape Publishing. That was back in the day, and that turned into something called the Travel Writers Cafe, which is we meet in we have a private Facebook group, but we do anyway. It's a whole group of just unusual travel writers that I guess the ad was want to learn how to get paid to travel, want to learn how to travel right.
I love it. Yeah. Is it still going? Is that the whole thing still
I'm in the middle of it.
Current?
Yeah. It's active. The Travel Writers Cafe is now called Travel Writers University. And I'm also part of something called the International Food, Wine, and Travel Writers Association. So those are kind of two overlapping organizations, and it's just a really great group of folks, mostly women. It's you get you learn how to travel, you get your press card, you go to conferences and retreats, and it's one of the most. I really love it because it's a really supportive group of positive people. It's mostly women that are just sharing, that don't there's very little ego involved. And so it's just a great, and and Bruce is a photographer, and he's a great photographer. And so we just started, as we got going, it was like, oh, well, I'm a writer, he's the photographer. So let's go, set up a press trip or this, that, the other thing. And that was how we really that got us in this. So we've done a lot of restaurants, we've done a lot of hotels, we've done a lot of various essays and things like that. So that kind of got the creative, that's what started the creative partnership.
That's awesome.
This is my lawyer. She talks for me.
That's right.
No, you do. That's cool.
Yeah. She's going to send you an invoice.
Yeah, right. Totally. I'm good with it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cookie.
I was curious on the videos you make. I watch them all. They're very cool. And you always have really cool. You hit me to few like artists that I never even saw or heard of. And they were all sick. My favorite, I mentioned this before, but my favorite one is I love that guy that does the lamp things. And I don't know his name
Max Zorin.
That is so cool. Like that's like it was a whole new thing that I discovered through you guys. Like I didn't even know people did that stuff. And when I saw it, and he does it so good,
It's cool that you see street musicians still get able to a higher level of art, because corporations tend to make it illegal to be a musician or to be an artist. Like graffiti artists are arrested, but yet they're using graffiti.
It's weird. It's always been weird to me. I just never understood that. Sorry to cut you there, but I just never understood it. It's just my opinion. Like, why society, police and government and whatever, like it's a bad thing. Look, when I went to Hamburg, Germany, we were doing shows, we were performing. They let the people graffiti.
Yeah,
you just clean it over, and then they go over it at schools on the wall. Like, I just don't understand it. Why
there was a fun which I threw a large event, and I was like, well, if you have a problem with youth, whatever, designate a wall that a club can over for a month, let them go and make a competition out of it. And this really art. They're like, dude, what are you smoking?
That's the whole thing. That's why the kids did it. That's why kids graffitied on the subway train, because they were being rebellious. They didn't have anywhere they could actually do this art. You can't do graffiti really like what you want to on a small piece of paper. So
and
they needed
beautiful, it's beautiful. And that's what, and for Max Zorn to go from, because he's out of Amsterdam, and so he's a street artist out of Amsterdam doing all that kind of stuff, and then to evolve it into just packing tape. He does amazing works of art with packing tape, different colors in his X-Acto knife. We see him every year at Scope Art Show during Art Basel, and he's amazing.
Yeah. Well, glad our selection of artists resonate, and that's why I keep it broad. So we'll find something, whether it's skateboard, whether it's a guy like that, whether it's an abstract expressionist, whether it's a software engineer who will soon be out of business. Because
not happening, dude. Cookie, is that going to happen? Cookie, our software engineer is going to be out of business. Come on.
I think Tyler D said it best last week on the show with us. He said, we asked him about what we would tell the youth today that is learning and how to prepare themselves for the future. And he said that he basically feels do what you love. And I think that's it. Like, if you love to code and be an engineer, software engineer, do that, because that love and that passion for it is going to give you that extra bit of sauce that you need to make a difference and to create sustainability with it. So for me, that's not being a software developer. So the guys that love doing that, they're going to probably come and rebuild, anything I've ever built, and other guys like me too that are trying their way at this.
That's the great thing about being human, right, guys? Is that you pick what you choose and you go with it. Some people are born with certain gifts and skills, but you have to learn that you have that gift and skill, and then you motivate on that. But I think that's what's awesome about being human, that we're all made up of these different unique things.
That we get taken away by the machine.
Yeah, and
you just keep going. You just keep going.
And we get to enjoy each other. Like I love listening to Cookie play guitar.
That humans have. Machines don't have. They don't have the emotional intelligence. They don't have the authenticity. Humans.
That's right. They don't got the soul.
That's right. No, go for it. I will turn you guys on because you guys in this AI thing. I saw an interview with I think Woz. He's on the Instagram, whatever. Steve Wozniak. And he's promoting this thing called famous.ai. Are you hip to this?
No.
It uses it basically, you don't need a development team or coding, and you actually just speak to it of sorts, and it will develop a app for you. And he's promoting it. So
I'm sorry, it does the front and the back end?
Huh?
It does the front end and the back end?
Yeah. Wow, yeah, called famous.ai. I just wanted to turn you onto it.
Check it out, everybody. Famous.ai.
Famous.ai. Or probably go to WazU, something like that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I didn't check it out yet, but it's apparently, like the guy from NVIDIA says, coding is passe. Now you just need to talk to the machine and they'll,
it's incredible. We talk about AI all the time. It really is incredible. Certain things like we discuss, it's not going to have that soul, like when it comes to more human things. But if it could help you write something that's going to cut your time by 100, like why wouldn't you use it?
Research tool all the time. I love perplexity.
Sorry, guys. We can just talk. In Florida, right? We kick it in Florida. We're just like chit chat all the time.
So I just wanted to pull this up. This was the famous.ai. So you just type in here, like, what you're looking for or whatever. Interesting. I'm going to leave this page up here. I just wanted to pull it up and show it to everybody so they can check it out on their own. If they watch back the show, I'm going to take it down.
Yeah, definitely good project.
I was interested that while we're on this topic, and since you're doing all these video edits, A, what tools do you use when you're creating these videos? And B, what new tools utilizing some AI leverage do you enjoy using and you think are cool?
The way I edit organically. I kind of let the material dictate how I edit it. I don't normally. I just had a thing with another client, and they wanted me to edit and put a lot of inserts and cuts into the edit, and that was good for a short attention span, TikTok, blah blah blah. But for the material, I let it go. long with the problems with the ums and the bots like that. So I usually I don't have a particular. I let the problem dictate what I need to use.
Yeah, I want to cut in real quick on this, just because
Go on. Okay.
You use Adobe.
I used to use Apple, now I use Adobe, and then I might use DaVinci and other plugins. But I really I think about the effect I want, and then I figure out how to do it. I kind of like the storyline to drive the effects, as opposed to if you go online, you see the effects driven everything. Then you have a storyline. I'm kind of the other way, kind of like you, Cookie. I kind of more artistic and let that drive my thing.
I love that. I just want to comment real quick on that. What you said about you kind of let the piece dictate the editing. Yeah. And I forget, maybe one of you guys know, because you all have way more culture than me, but there's this famous artist, a sculptor, that said that the piece of the stone that he gets tells him what the piece is going to be when he sculpts it. And I think it's the same philosophy, but I love that. And
it's universal. It's universal.
It's also hip hop. It's like, use what you got. You got this piece of stone here. You got this video here. Let's not try to make it something that's not. Let's use what it is and shape it into its truest form.
Yeah. So, I want to say that, and I'll let you get in, is that you really don't need the latest and greatest shit. That's the problem with tech. You cheat yourself thinking you're better than you are, because you haven't developed the basics to, if something fell off, that you can build it back up. You can work through it, and that's kind of a little bit of a cheat that AI gives people. That like one kid, my friends was teaching his kid how to drive, and he says, "I don't have a mirror and I don't have a camera in the back of my car. How do I park my car?" Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
you can look backwards.
Turning it was crazy. It was crazy for him to turn his head and think that. And I'm saying that kind of functionality things tend to get removed when you start injecting other things to teach you and to be your learning tool.
That's such a great point. I want to chime on that real quick. A friend I know, he was an insurance excavator for years. When we were younger, he would drive all around in these remote places, and we used to call him the map king, because he could get anywhere, find anything. And since everybody has GPS now, he's like lost all those skills. He gets lost going everywhere if he doesn't GPS on.
Do you know your phone number?
But I can't remember my girls.
You remember when you had to remember people's phone numbers? Crazy.
Yeah.
The quick list on the refrigerator mom made for you in case of emergency.
It's like the joke where the guy gets arrested, then you make a phone call, but he says, "You have my phone." Can't call
anybody. Can't call anybody. But I wanted to jump in here on that too, because I really, one of the things that I love about working with Bruce, and I wanted to add to something.
What the fuck? One?
That's all you get, dude.
Can you just like cut the screen in half and like black her side off?
Vicious. But no, when what he said about like he lets the material drive, like he'll be editing, he'll be working on the edit, and he'll want to do some kind of creative. He'll want to add something to the video or do some kind of effect. He'll be over there watching YouTubes. He's gonna learn. He's gonna go and he's gonna figure out. Like he was saying, if he'll let the piece flow, and then if he wants to add something, he'll watch all
figure it out.
What to do. And I think that's really cool. And I think that we have a real cool niche with Create24 with our style, because it's indie, and it's a more in terms of our interview format, it's a more casual conversation. It's an informed conversation, but it's also kind of personal and real. We travel around to different settings, but then it's not
around the world.
Yeah, but then it's not just like a podcast segment. Like Bruce goes in and we do it together. We look at the video together. We figure out what kind of things to do. And then it's a video, but then there's always going to be pieces that we're going to, if it's an artist that we spoke to, we're going to showcase their art pieces. We're going to add some music. We're going to add a few different things. And I think that then the end product is more, it's a fun, it sets us apart.
It's more satisfying, right? I would say, like, it gives you more fulfillment, like, unless you were like just following the guidelines of like how everybody else is doing it. This is like, you have like, you guys are talking about.
That was a little problem. And that was like our problem with first getting with Rug Radio and stuff, because they're trying to package us like
Oh.
a podcast.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And so we were kind of like, well, we're not really interested in like being everyone's favorite. You know, we're not driven through that model. We're like, we got followers, and we build our followers kind of slowly. Like in the old days, you get a player, you bring him on the team, you develop the player to be a star. But now you get on like a baseball team, you got to hit immediately.
Yeah.
There's no time to develop talent.
There's no time.
We're kind of developing our pool, our audience with you guys, and that was kind of the way we had to do it ourselves.
I don't know if it was like so much of a problem as it's just a different. Everybody
for me it was
okay. Yeah. For everybody has their format of doing the spaces on X, and we were like, well, how do we fit into with a video piece instead?
And we're 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7-minute pieces. I'm doing short kind of features, right? I'm not doing the 10 seconds, 30 second stuff. So it's kind of like a problem because we look at the stats, people fall off. After a minute or two, they're not looking at it, you know. And so we had to fight that kind of attention span thing with regard to our. But basically, people follow us that like our stuff, and the ones that don't. Like we interviewed LT. When you interviewed LT, I don't know if you saw
Line Trash.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, if you dig my stuff, lovely. If you don't, no problem."
That's right, and he's right. He's got that's what it is, and it's the same with anything else. Music is the same, and art, it's the same. You're gonna have people that love it. You're gonna have people that hate it. It's just what it is. There's not 100% people gonna love it. Sorry, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a great thing about it.
Yeah, 100%. Also, somebody in our abstract chat said, Tonya, Greenpeace started in BC, Canada. Is that true?
It is true. Yeah, it started out in British Columbia. Definitely.
Yeah, that was from Delicia Max. Shout out to Delicia Max. Thank you for chiming in.
Your history. Yep, definitely. Yep. With a small group of people that went out to basically the origin story is that small group of Canadians were upset over the U.S. doing nuclear weapons testing at the Aleutian Islands off the coast. They got a boat. They went out. They said stop nuclear testing, and out of that, Greenpeace was born.
Wow, I wonder if those people survived. The first settlers of Greenpeace that went over there and told them to stop.
They're trying to push that through now.
So crazy. So crazy.
Happen, man.
I want to know, you've interviewed some interesting people, and I'm not going to ask you like who's the most interesting person, because that's just unfair to the other interesting people that are on the show. But how do you go about choosing your guests? What is it that you're looking for when you're booking someone to talk to?
Oh,
I think it's really organic, and I think it's just, to me, part of the purpose of CREATE24 is just to stay curious, right? To stay young, to stay active, to stay curious. And I would say that the selection process is mainly who is doing an interesting thing, because so many people are doing interesting things. I love the digital art. We love art, whether it's digital, physical, or what have you. I mean, we'd love to have you on the show. I mean,
that'd be great. We'd love to do it.
We'll give you some rec.
I need it.
But I mean, I think that's mainly it. I mean, we want to. The show is meant to be, meant to have a Web3 vision, but we straddle Web 2 and Web 3, and we've broadened it out. I mean, now we've broadened it out. Bruce will tell you about Shrink Spotlight in a sec, but like we've just. Well, first so we broadened it out. Now we have Global Insight. We showcase Shrink Spotlight, but let me also give a shout out to the website that you built for us, Hef, because
I forgot about that.
One of the challenges,
right?
I would say that
we gotta pay you to say it, dude. Checks the mail.
but seriously, because I would say that CREATE24 is gaining momentum now, because now we have a year and a half of videos. We have a nice little library.
You have a presence.
Yeah, we have a presence. We have a good portfolio, but we didn't have a place to show you. We didn't have a place to tell everybody, well, here's where you can find it, other than the YouTube playlist. So put up a link, so people can see the site. You did such a great job with it, and now we have the. Now we have that site. But so now I think again, one of the things is we have one of the selection criteria is people in Web3 that are doing interesting things. We've talked to OSF, we've talked to Grant Yoon, We have an interview with Manic, who is just an exceptional artist coming up.
He's awesome.
Yeah, but then also we wanted to broaden out into different things. The Global Insights we talked to my grad school professor, Jean Dupree, a former South African diplomat. That's a great, about nuclear weapons and what's going on, the 80th anniversary of the bombing of Japan. And then today we just launched our second clip of a conversation with Steve Nemeth, the head of Rhino Films, talking about filmmaking. And
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And
Is that Rhino Films? Is that the same Rhino Records as well? Because
yes.
I know it's the same under the same umbrella. Okay.
Yeah.
Same family.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not as hoity-toity as her.
Oh.
I look at almost everything people do as almost artistic, and there's a process to it, and so I try to take that into formation. If it I met a young girl who was just starting out her little greeting card company, and I thought that was so cool to talk about that, or talk about something a little more extravagant. So I kind of look at, I think it's all the process. Whether your medium it's like, there was a book I read about entrepreneurs, the psychology of an entrepreneur. And it's counterintuitive. And the thing if you say you're going to start a show, and I say, dude, everyone's done it, I don't understand it, what it means, that's kind of a good thing because it's new and it's novel. And you have to go against what people tell you to say, I stand out and do it. And I take that as kind of my lead for someone just to go out and do their things. They could be skateboard artists. They could be nothing. They could be crazy. And I could just see, hey, what does a crazy person think? There's no really boundary to it. So I think almost all things human are kind of interesting in our kind of fucked up mammalian way of being social animals, kind of thing. So I'm a little more, almost everything. I film there. I film ants. I film spiders.
Yeah. Why not? Right?
He films spiders.
I look at how they think and how they move. And the other day I saw a spider grab a little gnat and he was going down a hole. I'm like, God, that's so fucked.
That gnat is fucked.
I just that's horrible. There's no way. But anyway, that's how yeah.
Speaking of insects, I'm just going to throw this in there, but there was this praying mantis that was just hanging out on the window and just hung out and just really just for a long time. I'd go outside and chill out. It wasn't afraid of me, and it was just chilling there. And then I would see it upside down, hanging upside down, because they do this a lot. And like you said, you saw the spider take the gnat. Yeah. I saw the mantis tear apart a moth, just crazy. Crazy. But interesting to watch it.
3 feet tall.
Yeah, but interesting to watch how it was doing it with these little hands, and the mouth was so I was like, what the hell did I just watch? But interesting. Yeah. Okay. So
look at you. That's the scary thing when they turn their head.
Oh yeah, they start. Yeah, because the eyeballs are up here.
Yeah, you're like alien.
They are kind of alien. Praying mantis alien. That's what's up.
But I would agree with Reese. I think everybody has a story and everybody's interesting, right? So we're
that's why we just try to cover everything. It could be tech, it could be non-tech. Doesn't really matter.
This is good, and you're right. Everybody does have a story. When you guys are interviewing people, are you freestyling the questions? Are you doing what's your approach? Do you research? Do you research them?
Yeah, we try to, but it depends if we catch them on the fly. Like we're in Florida.
You have no time.
Yeah, we catch them and we're hey, what's going on? We see you doing something. Let's tell us about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What you're doing? Why are you doing it? And blah blah. And a lot of times, the street musicians, the street artists are really, they're worth gold.
They're flamboyant, extravagant. Yeah, they got a story. Everyone's got a story to tell, especially if they're, in a celebrity-ish kind of thing that they're doing. They want to be heard. That's the whole whole purpose. But that's one of the reasons.
And I think that's the thing that I'm reluctant. I've been mistaken for famous people, and I actually got weirded out because no one really knows how to deal with fame. That's everyone wants to be famous, so they get famous, then they realize, wait a minute,
what the hell did I just do?
You can't do basic shit anymore. And a lot of times, who are street artists who come up, they keep their head about them. They're able to do that. But a lot of people, whatever, America's Got Talent or all these kind of bullshit shows. They're not really, they're being groomed to be famous, not really groomed to be artists. And then they flip out and, you know, and you know, they're on drugs and whatever the fuck may be. Not in a good way like me and Cookie. I'm with you, Cookie.
But back to the question. But back to the question a little bit too, in terms of, yeah, we definitely prepare. You know what I mean? I mean, if we are like, let's say we're at an art show and we're wandering through the exhibition hall, then we're just going to freestyle it a little bit. But I mean, for example, when we interviewed Steve Nemeth, you know, if Bruce hadn't spent a good chunk of a good chunk of time, like really researching Steve's films and really researching, and then getting to the interview and like going through the questions, that interview would have been not good, you know, because it really depends it really depends on who you're speaking with as well, you know, and being prepared, you've done your homework.
Yeah, and being prepared, like getting in with Steve, the guy has produced over 76 movies. You know, he's kind of a big person, right? And personality. So if you go with someone who's both a maverick but understanding and unprepared, they're like, you know, I don't have time to talk to you. You know, we had like 30 minutes. We ended up being there an hour and a half at his place. He actually smoked weed with us. hiding from his wife. We're gonna say that. We're in the corner and shit like that. You know, so if you got a chance to be prepared and I think kind of let them kind of explain themselves and their thing, their trip, how they come to when you talk to people, like what you do, like what you guys do. You know, you might format it differently. Like when I first met Cookie, we kicked it for about like 2 hours at our house, just talking about health,
cooking it up.
Yeah, we were doing that shit. Then he did some crazy 50 push-up shit that I no, I'm joking. But
he was doing his burpees. He was going crazy.
I did like 10. I'm like, I'm good. Like football practice back in high school.
Yeah, that's like Cookie Ribbon. I can't even say it.
But hardcore though was impressive. So you know, it's really good. How are you losing so much weight, Hef?
Me? I don't know, dude. I'm just
good.
Thank you. I don't feel like I'm losing weight. I feel like I'm freaking gaining, eating all the pizza that I'm.
The pizza shop, totally.
His audio's off.
Oh, Cookie, your audio's off. Hang on one sec, dude. Did you mute? Oh, there we go.
That was me, the dog. Sorry, that was me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, I just wanted to say Hef's being modest. He doesn't want to shill anything, but really, one of the secret ingredients in rec drinks is that if you want to lose weight, you'll lose weight. Also, if you want to gain weight, it'll help you gain weight. Also, if you want to get smarter, it'll make you smarter.
True.
It's back there. It's part of the secret recipe.
That's right. Drink up.
What do you think about rec? What do you think about it? What do you think?
I love it. I think, you know, that Ovi's really passionate about the project. Passionate. He doesn't want to see it fail. I think it would be a very, very tough thing if it did. And I don't see it doing that. I just think that the community is amazing that's behind Rect. And they've been there since day one, since they launched that project. And he's a smart guy. And why not? And he's building something. Why not stand behind that? I would rather stand behind that all day long than somebody that is molded by institutions. And that's all it is. You know, you're just paper chasing at that point. I think this is a fun,
real product.
Yeah, fun, real product. And they give back and you can earn and you're part of something, you know, part of the community, you know, if that's important to you, you know, if it's important to just make money, then you could do that too. You know, there's no harm, no foul. No one's to tell you anything. But I love those guys, you know.
It's not curious. I just wanted curiosity. Can I get a take? Yeah.
For us, when we do our shows, like all of this conversation is all AI. I'm not even here. Mike's AI. I'm his clone, his twin. So he wasn't able to make it today, but I'm here. Oh, guys,
can you have for you guys? I'll let you get to it. Isn't AI kind of a oxymoron? I mean, you can't really have artificial intelligence. I mean, If you
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
it, it's like
It's-
you're intelligent or it's not intelligent. It can't be artificial.
What would you call it then? If you could rename AI to anything you want, what would you call it?
Artificial imitation.
Okay.
I mean, mimicry on a human modeling. I mean, I don't know, but I kind of thought about that. Like, is it really? How is intelligence not real? How
Yeah.
is intelligence
How is it artificial?
false? How is it artificial if it's intelligent?
Yeah.
Cookie?
It's a weird name. I do believe it's a in some way, shape, or form, it's a collective consciousness of real humans. I'll give it that, because it is taking data from real humans and it's compressing it in a way we can search it and objectively look at it, or I should say subjectively look at it as an individual. You know, just like we would Google for information for years, and then after a while we noticed the top 3 were just sponsors, and oh, that's the shill, and then we got to dig a little deeper to get the real stuff that we're looking for. Well, I think AI is just a collective of that same model Google had. You know, it's funny, before they were using machine learning, they had AI, ML, artificial intelligent markup language. It was invented, I think, in the late 80s by Richard Wallace, and it responded to you like AI, like the current.
Whoa.
Sorry.
That's an AI dog. It's not a real dog.
I'm so sorry, guys. But it responded to you based on what the user actually input into it. But it was based on the input just one person manually put it into it. As in today, it grabs it from all over. So I don't really know, because I'm not really intelligent.
It's more a philosophical question.
What the definition of intelligence is. So I don't know if the name is correct, but I do believe it pulls a lot of valuable data. But, you know, we discussed earlier. So I don't know. I'm just riffing here. But the name, I don't know if it's an appropriate name. I do see value in what it does, but once again, it has to be filtered through that human. And every human doesn't have to filter it the same way. Like, you need to filter it based on your values, your moral values, and your views. And then I need to do it on my moral values and views, and everybody, Henny, and then we can take that information and just cipher or filter what we value as the truth out of it. Because really, the truth is all relative, you know, in some way.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you think about it. I mean, is it just giving you an answer? I mean, is that what makes it intelligent and gives you an answer, or gives you what an answer could be?
Yeah, we should ask ChatGPT what the definition of intelligence.
Yeah, you're gonna mimic, just imitate. If your definition is right, it's just giving back what you put in it, right? The output is the input you put in. So is that intelligent? You know?
Yeah, I mean, unless you're Retardio's cousin, I don't know. You know?
Yeah, doesn't work with Tonya. Are you intelligent?
Ooh,
you-
blow.
Is she
There's a speaker
18?
right there. That's really.
Well, I didn't mean it like that. I just, are we real?
Are you sentient?
Yeah, right. You know, kind of crazy. You know.
Hey, I
That's
wanted
right.
to actually jump in here though and I wanted to really give a shout out and give props to Rug Radio and to the original. We all met around the GM
That's true.
Web3 show. We wouldn't be here. Create24 wouldn't exist without
Faroki,
Faroki,
the boys, the house,
without a Burn Dogler,
OSF, all these guys,
yeah,
all the old school guys.
Golden, where's Golden? Let's give a shout out to Golden.
Where's Golden? Yeah, Golden.
Crypto is the one that onboarded us, you know, because we were the origin story of Create24 is that we were, you know, I think we were all part of the Rug Radio DAO and the decentralized autonomous organization. And I remember basically they had a member contest to generate some member content, generate memes, generate videos, what have you. And so we put together some videos and that caught on. And then, Golden is the one that onboarded us that first year.
That's great.
And at our house in Miami.
Yeah.
And then I did want to also, I got to also give a personal shout out to Rug Radio because I wouldn't have won the prize.
Show me your rec tattoo. Show me your rec tattoo.
You got a rec tattoo?
Just one on her butt. No.
Oh, wow.
But seriously, I do got to give a shout out to Homo Hour 2.
That's awesome.
I memorialized my prize.
Yes. Where is that punk now?
Oh, the punk got sold.
Somewhere in Dubai.
In a private. The punk got sold in a private sale. A very lucky private sale.
Nice.
That was the biggest. That's one of the luckiest things, seriously, that's ever happened to me in my life, and it was such.
That was amazing. I was so happy for you when it happened. I just remember I was just in my head going punk, punk, punk. And then it happened and I was like, holy shit, holy shit. I remember messaging you like, congratulations. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Well, that's pretty nuts.
Crazy. And the guys were in Dubai and Farouk was jumping up and down and screaming. They were like, yeah, that was crazy. One of the luckiest things that ever happened to me. And so shout out to Rug Radio.
Hell yeah.
And you guys too.
And you guys, yeah.
Definitely.
And you guys. You shout you guys out. Shout out.
It's good that we can be worldwide friends. You know, a lot of times when I critiques that you sit in front of your computer all the time, you don't meet people. But it seems like this way we're kind of in both worlds.
Yeah.
Well, we've met IRL though too, and I think that makes a difference.
Sure.
Yeah. We haven't kicked it enough, but we hadn't had a chance
to
kick it.
Last year I got sick.
I know. That was a bummer.
I showed up to like make sure the DJs were like doing their thing, and then I don't know. One day I was just coughing. I forced myself to go just to check in and make sure everybody was good on the DJ side, and then I left. I think I even said to you guys, I was there for a minute. And I was out.
Yeah, you looked. Yeah.
Getting fresh air.
I hope Cookie plays again
Cookie
at our house.
Was a star.
Yeah, Cookie was jamming, dude. We got to get him to do it again, but like where there's a crowd, you know, we got to make sure that the audience is there because you got to have that energy. It's hard to just play. You're like in the bedroom playing kind of when there's nobody there. But I remember the first our house, Miss Henny, that I was like, "Where's Miss Henny? Miss Henny's here. Where's Miss Henny?" And I remember it was at night by the pool, and I went all the way walked around and looking for you. And we sat there. We had an awesome conversation. I think we spoke for like good 30, 40 minutes. And that was awesome. That was the first time meeting you. So yeah, I was glad to
I remember that. I was so happy that you sought me out. I was like, no way, it's happening.
Yeah, that's right.
I sat there, shot the shit. That was a really fun our house. I loved that our house. It had such a fun community vibe. It was really yeah.
I'm excited to see what they're going to do again this year. Do you guys, speaking of that, do you have anything lined up? Like for us, we try to book out 2 months, 2 months in advance of guests, just because it's time consuming, making the flyers, doing the promoting and, whatever, just all the nuances that go along with it. But for our house, are you guys planning on coming back out here this year if they're having it? And are you, do you have any other guests?
Yeah. Well, if not, you're going to be there for Scope as well. We covered the art show there, and I was been lobbying last year. We didn't do it. Hopefully you have a really nice hotel this time, and we're going to have to throw like a little like dinner party, hang out and listen to music and eat and drink, whatever.
Yeah,
at our spot. We didn't get together last year and do it.
But we got to do it this year. We'll definitely do it.
Yeah. I love to cook, and we can order food, and we can.
I want to make sure I wear my mask to our house.
Bring your mask. No wrecked allowed.
Yeah, either that or I'm sending my AI.
Yeah, we're gonna OSF there to sponsor the Bevy side, right?
That's right.
Yeah, do something really cool this year. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I hope they have our house, but we'll get our Basil either way.
Do you have any? Are you guys have any like anybody in mind that you want to interview while you guys are there?
I mean, I would love to interview Alien Queen.
Alien Queen?
Yeah, I would love to interview Alien Queen if she's there.
She's DJing too a little bit. She got into DJing and made the clothing line, and her art is very bright, and I love those bright colors, very neonish and very cool, like trippy, drippy.
Yeah. And she's got a great personal story. I mean, she's multifaceted. She's a tough chick, Yeah.
Came from Cambodia, right?
Yeah, from Cambodia.
Yeah.
But I'd like to, there's a lot I would love to. There's another gal named Pantojita. I would love to interview here. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I would love to. I mean, actually, X-Kiss. I'm not going to get his name right. X-Kiss, Scamart. I'd love to interview Scamart. There's so many.
X-Copy.
Not X-Copy. I'm sure that he's a little too big. I think for but there's a guy called.
Don't think that way. You could do it. Just reach out.
Yeah.
You just got to slide in the DM.
And then we're also going to be interviewing some of the big environmental folks. I have a big, I have a fairly wide network just from working internationally from so many years, and I work with a great local organization right now in the Bay Area as well called the Watershed Project. but we're going to interview some of the old like environmental wise people. Randy Hayes, I think, another gal called Ginger, and just mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of the environment, you have a lot of experience in working with the environment and things based around the environment. Like, how bad is it? Like, I don't pay too much attention. I think like a lot of people in the world, they just going about their lives and just not, not stopping to think, the air quality or the oceans or any of that stuff. I mean, it's there because we see it every once in a while, but like, how bad is it? Like, what's going on?
No, I mean, we're pretty, I mean, I try not to be too doom and gloom because I think that we're so surrounded with doom and gloom every day, but there's a lot. It's pretty bad. I mean, we really need more people paying attention and getting involved in things. I mean, if you look at what's happening in the Amazon rainforest and a lot of the stuff, just what's like, for example, let's take the Amazon rainforest. I'm close to an organization called Amazon Watch, and I was close to the Amazon campaign back in the day. And what is happening with indigenous nations, both through large oil companies still going in and trying to get the land in Ecuador and Peru, and in Brazil and also in Ecuador and Peru, there's a lot of wildcatting. There's a lot of illegal gold mining, and there's a lot of illegal ranching. There's a lot of illegal logging. There's a lot of mafioso. There are narco traffickers, and
government sponsored on top of it.
Some of them government sponsored, and if we don't stop the rate of deforestation in the Amazon, that is the lungs of the world. I mean, it's not.
Why doesn't Jeff Bezos step in? What's wrong? He owns Amazon. I heard that he sent them a cease and desist, and they're only going to go by forced now.
Right. I know exactly. That's part of the problem. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot more that these billionaires that could be doing for this stuff. But I mean, just to you basically have three like large areas you have a big mass of trees in the Amazon. You've got a huge forest in the Congo in Africa, and then you've got a huge rainforest in Indonesia. All of those forests are under severe threat. And these, again, they're the lungs of the world along with the ocean. That's how the rain gets produced. So so check out your start to pay attention. There's a lot of, so with that being said, there's a lot of great groups doing things. And even if all you want to do is donate, do a monthly donation, give $10, $20 a month, and that adds up for an environmental group,
That's what's up, man. I need
to Florida. Think about the Florida. I mean,
the Everglades.
The Everglades. They just built the alligator Alcatraz. Wasn't
that stupid?
I have no idea.
Prisons around the world, and you build up number.
They built this like in the middle of the Everglades, and I'm like, what is I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get into politics either because I just don't understand politics.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Cruelty.
I think
to the animals. So as you said, the cruelty implying to the humans, but I'm like, what about the poor animals that are just like, what the fuck is hitting me in the head today?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that they weren't thinking about that, running over a few alligators and who knows,
birds, whatever.
Yeah, birds, preserving the land. But Everglades is huge too. I wanted to mention that also when you were mentioning, the Amazon and all that stuff. I think people are too afraid to really go into the Everglades. It's all swampy, and not sure what's there. But you're right. They're drilling. It's all about money and drilling, and they don't realize that. It's just killing the world. The
thing that I always come back to is that, especially because I started working on fundraising for this stuff in the 90s, and it's like at this point in time there are so many solutions, and that's what's hopeful. We can really innovate our way out of a lot of this mess. But then also people's morality has to change in some of these narco traffickers and stuff. But we can innovate our way out of a lot of this stuff. But we need more people to pay attention and to get involved. Again, even if it's just getting money, because it's and then crazy things like the United States. I mean, Russia is using nuclear or semi-nuclear weapon, that sonic thing, and we're going to start nuclear testing again. So we got to start to read more, basically. And get away from the clickbait news and all the artificial, the AI generated stuff. But anyway,
what do you think about this guy, Delicia Max, saying 30% of the forests in British Columbia are projected to burn to the ground this year? What's your thoughts on that? And what's your thoughts on that? And also, with the fires that happened in California and all that, like,
It's
did the smoke come up to you guys?
We are in climate chaos. We're in climate. We've reached, because the temperature has risen. I think it's risen pretty much 2 or even more than 2 degrees Celsius, and we are now in climate chaos. I mean, like that firestorm that hit LA, it was a hurricane of wind that got sparked in fire, and nothing could have. I mean, it doesn't help that in the United States, fire trucks are now owned by a conglomerate, and it's so hard and expensive for cities to get a new fire truck. Did you know that in LA, out of their 200 fire truck fleet, 100 of the fire trucks were out of commission because they couldn't get repaired. So they're trying with inadequate, So anyway, but it was a firestorm. It was a windstorm of fire, and so.
Well, I would say one thing about California, which is there's here in Northern California, because of the heat, it's too warm to grow grapes officially now here. So a lot of the vineyards are now producing agave, planting cactus, and moving out of Napa down the coast to cooler environment. So Napa is having a lot of problems due to
that's interesting. Yeah, because it's normally cooler up where you guys are at.
Now
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they say, you can buy the best champagne now in the world, I think, is being produced in England. Or there's like 15 or 16 vineyards in Sweden now.
Wow, interesting.
It changes. Yeah, the world's changing. Because
of the climate. Yeah. It is nuts. It is hot outside. It's extreme this summer. It keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. What's next for CREATE24? Let's move on. What's going on with CREATE24? We're getting close to the time of the show. Tell us what's going on.
Well, we got some good products in place. We've actually became more of a brand now. So we're doing C24. We have we've been approached by some other independent producers to kind of distribute their product on our platform.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool. So we had the String Spotlight thing come on. We're a group of actors that do this kind of like poor man's Frasier type of thing, which actually got a lot of response. We didn't think it was going to really do well with people. Really kind of they're quirky. I worked with a group called Asian Mainstream. We just did that movie. You saw that movie a long time ago. I did for Calvin Roberts in the war, Southeast Asia, stuff like that. So we're just moving along that area and trying to get a little more, in my opinion, a little more compartmentalized to expand. Like you helped us with the website to get more infrastructure in there and just travel more, interview more people, and maybe
travel more.
Get more sponsorship to do more work and support good causes and independents like you guys to grow on. So we're maybe getting more of a network kind of a vibe. We got other people coming in like that, and that's really kind of it. That's my take on it.
Have you guys thought of curating a panel of guests? Because that might be something cool I'm just brainstorming here for CREATE24 to do at one of these Web3 events. And then also, are you guys?
It's a good idea.
Are you guys planning on hitting up Web3 events this coming year? Like,
yeah, we didn't go to Lisbon this year. Normally we go to Lisbon every year because we're content producers, content sponsors in Lisbon or whatever. But I haven't looked into it, but we're totally game to do it. I think NFT News, the other one in your part of town. Are they scaling back? The other
you talking to me or you?
They're in Florida.
I don't know. I don't even know who they are. Who is it?
Now.
Yeah,
NFT Now. You're hip to these guys?
Oh, NFT Now. Yeah. I didn't know they were here.
Yeah, I think they're out of Florida.
I think they're out of Florida.
Fuck, I don't know.
Oh.
NFT Now, yeah, previously hosted Event Gateway in Miami in conjunction with Christie's Art Basel. I'll have to do some research on them. I didn't know that they were down here, but and I'll check them out because I'm always interested, especially if they're here in my hometown. I'd like to go.
Oh, they do some great stuff.
Check them out.
Just dynamite stuff.
They do some really killer digital art displays during Art Basel during the Art Week. So we're definitely going to be at Art Basel. I really hope our house will happen again this year.
Yeah.
But,
we're gonna have to go get some pizza.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. We can do a pizza party.
We're gonna go to Steve's. I'm gonna, either I'll bring pizza to you or we'll go to it. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, we'll make it happen.
We'd love to go to Steve's. We'd love to go both. We do both.
That's right.
Yeah. No, but there was something I mean, NFT now does really amazing digital art displays. So that is definitely something that we want to cover this year. We'll probably reach out to them more in advance to
what I would like to do.
But
what I didn't do last year is like cover some of the more fringe stuff. Like you cover the stuff, like there was a hotel that really went all out and I didn't get to cover it. I forgot they weren't in mind, they were offshoot. They did the whole like themed out their whole hotel or something like that. Really kind of cool. So there's a lot of little offshoot things that'd be kind of cool to cover. That aren't part of the main, $1 million, milieu. Like
that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Keep it moving on that topic. I want to ask you guys before we zip up out is music. How do you guys approach music in your productions? Like background music, songs, like
We have Tourette's over here. Let her speak.
I forgot something. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Don't be sorry. Just do it.
24. No, we just became an abstract streamer, so we're going to be streaming on.
Congratulations on that.
Huge. Thank you, Dyla.
Yeah,
that's a huge thing. So we're just learning how to get our stream set up. So that's one of the next things in CREATE24. We'll be on abstract. We'll be showcasing our library of videos, but then we'll also kind of mixing that up with the new stuff. So going forward. So more info to come.
Excellent. I love it. I'm glad that you guys are on CREATE24. I mean, that CREATE24 is now on abstract. What's that?
We're starting a show called Jus Riffin 2.
There you go.
Jus Riffin also.
Well, there you go. Hey, you can clone music.
I listen to music. I listen to a lot of music. A lot. I used to work with some record companies here that were kind of doing world music and stuff like that. So I listen to Czechoslovakian blues music. I mean, I
love it.
Kind of crazy. It actually was really, really good.
That's cool, man.
Gypsy music, you're saying, with gypsy, flamenco, Spanish, bolero music, all combined, this hybrid stuff out of Putuando. Was the name of that record? Putuando, remember them? Putuando. They're like a world music thing.
Mm-hmm.
So so I'm listening. Currently, I'll just answer it. There's two people. There's an old band called Gestofunk. I didn't know about them. I got turned on to them.
How do you spell it?
Gestofunk.
Gestofunk. Okay.
Yeah, I got turned on to them. They're like a band. They have featured singers coming in with it. Really kind of funky, cool. And a guy named Masego, Masego. I saw him on Tiny Bites, NPR Tiny Bites, and I really dig it because this shortly is kind of these young musicians are coming up, integrating everything together. So again, it's like a hodgepodge of jazz, reggae lines, digital, hip hop, singing. It's really a hybrid stuff. It's kind of experimental mainstream, I would call it. It's like new wave versus punk. It's not really, it's edgy-ish.
Yeah.
That's kind of two things I just got turned on to.
That's great, dude. Thank you. I just put those two up in my tab so I can check them out on my own.
Yeah.
But tell me about like CREATE24 and music, with adding music to the show. Maybe some background music when you're talking to somebody. What's your approach to adding music to your productions?
Well, I try to add stuff that people don't normally hear, that for one thing. So it has to have that criteria of being kind of unique.
Like you singing in the shower?
Like, no.
All right. People don't hear.
I don't want to turn it off. Like, who's killing that cat? Right. No, it'd be like I have like some gamelan music that I recorded in some events I did in Indonesia, or I have like some pop pop Moroccan music that I might have, like Sat El Atlas. There used to be a band. They're really popular. I try to do music that's interesting and curious, but not too overbearing that takes away from it. So that's kind of. But I try to again keep it within like a real, I wouldn't say exotic, but kind of different. It's kind of
do you find
to create stuff like that.
Yeah, do you find the music to go along with the vibe of what's of the interview?
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of times you can listen to music and not know what language you're speaking because you feel it, right? Like going back to the jazz thing, you listen with your body as well with your ears. That's how you can play next to a person, not looking at them, but you can see their energy is coming at you, and you're vibing on them like that. That's kind of where I choose it. But we covered Rolling Stones. I mean, that was good. I mean, they were here. We covered them. We have them in there. So there's nothing safe. There's nothing safe with us.
It depends on the subject, right? As well, it's like depending on who's in the who we're interviewing. Like with Gina Choi, we wanted to do something a little more delicate, because she's such her work is so beautiful, and she's such a fine artist. And we did, I think with OSF, we asked him like what he said jazz. So we found some good jazz for him.
That's true. Yeah. Kind of like what you do just now. You look it up, you pull it up and see what's there. And I love B-sides, like that's what
dude, the B-sides win always.
Always, that's the thing you get, you go on whether it's Spotify and they'll say, okay, the best of or feature this, and all the B-sides are gone. It's like, what was the Isley Brothers album? I think Isley Brothers 3+3 album. It had so many B-side hits on there, that was just, all the hits were kind of good, but the B-sides, Voice to Atlantis and all these kind of crazy rock opera soul kind of songs you'd never hear, mainstream
because it's not radio friendly. It's not the format. It's not for radio, but you're right, man. There's so many songs on any particular album that the B-sides, that's it. Public Enemy had a song called B-side Wins Again.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Or an album called The B-sides Win Again.
Yeah, that was it. And so underground hip hop, I love.
Awesome. Who are you listening to right now?
I don't have anyone.
Don't tell me like Hieroglyphics. I don't want to hear anybody from the Bay.
Who I just can't think of it right too. It was a female. What's her name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Fuck. I listen to a lot of internet. I keep some of my old Apple computers.
Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, Jessica Simpson. That's it. But I listen to a lot of internet radio. The new Apples, you can't really get it. So I have like some old Apples where I can go to internet radio, and I still listen. I just go through it.
He finds the stations. He always you walk over to his room, and he's always got.
That's there across the hall. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. So I kind of like a producer, listen to everything and what pulls in. There's no genre that I really have.
As long as it sounds good. Is that you?
Yeah.
You listen to it as long as it sounds good. If it doesn't sound good to you, you move on.
Yeah, they have to ask Ray Charles why he listens to country music. He says, Cookie knows, all music has soul. Yeah. His answer, it doesn't matter. Right. So you just listen to it. Everything, even folk, Chinese folk music, just kind of whatever it is, man. Really good stuff.
That's
I got one guy, Steve Turre. Look him up. He's a jazz musician. I think he's from here. Steve, I think it's Turre but he plays conch shells.
Well, this guy. Those are some amazing conch shells, man. He's got some like some people have like very expensive guitars and drums. This guy's got some conch shells that are like.
If you ever come to your town, go see him. He will blow your mind. It's just
he's got some holy grail conch shells.
Yeah, really. Wow. It's kind of wild. Yeah,
I'm not even joking. He's legit. We should get him and fucking Adibody together because Adibody plays the African flute and the fucking conch shell. And if Jimmy Buffett was alive, we'd have forget about it. We'd be chilling on the beach somewhere, and we get Willie Nelson to bring the weed.
My God. We're gonna do that. When we hook up in Florida this week, we have I think the music's gonna be off this chart, dude. We throw a party. It's gonna be
Cookie. Good. Well, Cookie has an album secretly coming out somewhere. We don't know where and when. He
I
doesn't
used
want to tell
oyster
us?
shells. I just want to say I used oyster shells to make all the music. The conch shells, to me, they were a little too bassy. I wanted a
Yeah,
little more of a
yeah.
high-end type of sound. So I found oyster shells to be really good.
Really? Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
Very interesting.
That's hilarious.
Interesting.
That's pretty funny.
So when is your new album coming out, Cookie?
Good question.
Well, I'm putting out a single next week, maybe possibly this week, but definitely next week. But I'm putting my platform where I'm releasing all this out in the next, either today or tomorrow. I'm going to show it to a couple people, and I don't know, it's fun. But that's that, you know. So I hope everybody likes it.
Huge.
You know, so the first song in it actually called "Learn to Play." I used a couple samples from some people we know. There's some of their voices on some morning talk shows we listen to, and some rec drink beverages type of stuff. I threw it all in there. Let's mix it. But that's that. Enough about me. Let me tell you more about me.
When I first met you a couple years back, were you as versed in AI? You were like getting to know it, right?
Yeah, like I mean, I think the
When I
chat
first met
GPT,
you.
I think Midjourney and ChatGPT I dibble dabbled in.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's amazing to see you now. Because at first you were like standing talking about it, and now you're like a guru.
Well, I'm definitely not a guru, and I'm very specific on what I use it for right now, although I'm sure that'll change. But just quickly, I definitely use it to anytime I'm sending out an email, not necessarily social media posts, but like long form emails and stuff. I definitely use it to massage what I write. And I hate as hell to change the authenticity of my voice and the way I speak. But at the same time, I feel like I'm too scrambled to speak cohesively to most normal people. So I do have it take all my information and kind of tighten up the delivery of it just a tad to still keep it me. But I think it's helpful for me in my case because I'm semi-retarded. And, you know, and then I use it for that. And then I use it big time in the aid of coding. Because I know very limited coding things. I do know some over the years. I've been, building websites for probably 20 years, but I've never really. I'm homeschooled at it, and by home I don't mean homeschooling. I mean Google schooled. So I use it for those two things specifically right now. But yeah, I do think it's an invaluable tool for the way I use it, and I think if everybody uses it their way, have fun.
Yeah. A lot of programmers I know just on the side track, they're self-taught. I know cats, they don't know anything. They'll get a book or go online, teach themselves and come up that way. So that's usually pretty standard course way to go. So don't knock yourself for being homeschooled.
That's right. Well, man, this has been an awesome show. I wish we had more time. I mean, we could sit here and talk forever. I know that Cookie can. He loves talking. And
we held down the party. We were standing and talking for about 2 hours, right? We
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This has been a good long combo, so thank you so much.
Hey,
Yes.
Hef, we get into the closing thing. I just want to ask one quick question.
Take your time. I'm in no rush.
Quick question. I'm really excited. So Hef, anybody out there listening, Hef collaborated with Create24 and they created a website. And I don't know the domain name. I want to know where I can go because I'm really excited to check this out because I love what Create24 is doing. I love the fact that you guys collaborated with Hef and he built this thing.
Yeah,
so the fact that I haven't seen it yet, I kind of feel like I'm missing out. So if you guys could give me the domain name, I'd really appreciate it.
Create24.co. Create24.co. It's on the ticker right now.
Yep, we got it ticking across.
Great to collaborate. I mean, we really, Hef and I worked together for about 2 months, just really intensely on it. So it was, yeah.
Yeah, we're still working. It's one of those, projects that's continuous because you can't do it all. You just can't get it all done, especially when you're
designing something too. Because there was a lot of trial and error. The look. I mean, a lot of people have commented that it looks different and good, and it's unique colors and stuff like that. Really,
that's what makes it stand out. This gold and the this yellow and the purple pops. It stands out with the white. You got a little black in there. I like it. I mean, obviously you guys are the final. You tell me yay or nay.
Good. It's really good. I like it. You don't have to have the slickest stuff to have the best stuff.
Yeah. You really want the content to be people to come to your site, for it to be aesthetically pleasing to their eyeball, where they're not like, oh my God, what am I looking at? And then get the content, get the information, and then move on, you know, or stick around and keep reading, you know, because there is a lot of stuff. And as time goes by, it's like with any website, you know, that's why, you know, it's let me relate this to other things, not just a website. When you start something and you got your outline and you start nailing the things down, like homepage, about us, contact, whatever. Once you get to most of the meat and potatoes in there, launch it. Don't wait for it to be perfect. And that doesn't have to do with websites. That has to do with your album. That has to do with anything in the world. If you're opening up a restaurant, make sure you're ready to go, and then do it. And then you'll start adding certain things along the way. But now you're up and going. You're not waiting for that perfect moment, because there really is no perfect moment.
No, you're clearly right.
Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Just get it out there. I'm with you.
I like that.
So you did really good with that. Yeah. That's what they say all the time. Yeah. Just do it. Don't
do it, bro.
Get out there and do it, and make mistakes and learn and be better. You know, we used to make, Mother and I used to Barbados, and we used to make t-shirts, and people used to like how we used to sell them on the beach. And shortly we make a t-shirt and it'll be like a mistake on it, and we'll cover it up. And people are like, wow, it's a really good t-shirt. You don't know. There's some paint spilled there, and we covered the shit. You know, it is, you know, really in our kitchen. You know,
wait, are you guys making Create24 shirts, by the way?
Not yet.
Okay. Maybe. When you do, I want one.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, good.
I love tees.
We'll make them through you, because I know you're doing t-shirts.
Yeah, but I'll show you where to get them. I'll show you how to do it, so that way you could, make it easy.
We were supposed to do it last time. We hooked up with a t-shirt person in Florida, but we didn't get that thought out there. We're probably gonna do it, this year. Just something wild. Yeah, I think it's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. What's new for you guys? Anything?
Well, Cookie's got an app coming, and his music is coming. Me, I am just working, trying to do the best work that I can as far as building sites and really getting more into apps. Mm-hmm. And then I want to travel. I want to just be a digital nomad. You know, I want to be in Southeast Asia with my feet in the sand, getting a $6 massage while I'm drinking a beer, and and being on the internet. I don't know.
It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Yeah.
I got to get over there, because I got to go bust Puke Rainbow's chops over there in Malaysia. You know.
Yeah.
Got to get there.
I think she's gonna go to Malaysia soon, so we'll see.
Yeah. I might be there. I'll see you guys there.
It's cool. Yeah.
We'll get some Malaysian pizza. I'll pizza all around the world, bro. Wherever you go, I'll find pizza. I'm gonna try it. I don't care where I'm at.
Marseille. Go to Marseille for white pizza.
I'll do it, man. I'm there.
Salmon and white. I mean, what kind of cheese? But it's not a red pizza. It was insane.
Regatta cheese.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe I think it will. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, white pizza is mozzarella. It depends. You can put fresh
mozzarella. Yeah, it was.
It's mozzarella cheese shredded. You put a little bit of you put mozzarella cheese. You put ricotta cheese on there, and a little bit of garlic, just a touch of garlic on there with some with fresh basil. You're good to go. White pizza style.
Pizza at the party, right? You're making fresh pizza at the party.
That's right.
Okay.
Making the pizza at the party. That's for real. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. Cookie, anything you want to ask them before we zip up out of here?
No, just thanks. It was great. It was so great talking to you guys. I can't wait to see all you guys again, either in Miami or wherever we all meet up again. It was such a great time.
Right.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you too. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, Tonya and Bruce. Thank you. I'm going to call you guys after the show so I can walk you through Abstract. But thank you again. Everything was a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you again. Yes.
I don't have anything to say. Thanks.
Thank you too. All right, you guys be safe. We'll see you soon. Everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with us. This has been Jus Riffin. We do it every Tuesday. I almost said Tuesday night, but we do it every Tuesday now during the daytime. So 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we had Tonya and Bruce from Create24. And next week is our community jam. So make sure you come back and hang out with us. the mic is open to anybody that wants to get up. Just message me on X or on Abstract, and we'll get you up on the stage somehow, some way. Thank you again for tuning in. Cookie, it's always a pleasure, man. Thank you again for your time. And Jus Riffin, man, powered by Rug Radio. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
Jus Riffin. Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. That's EST. Jus Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Jus Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time here every week. Jus Riffin. Jump in the room. Let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Jus Riffin.